So hi everybody, I'm Jason Ball and this is my brand new podcast. This podcast is going to aim to cover every element of travel that I can possibly imagine. We're going to look at destinations, about places to go, we're going to look at tons of travel tips, we're going to be looking at current news stories, we're going to be looking at anything to do with the world of travel at all. We're going to get some of our favourite suppliers on. We're going to be talking about different destinations in that respect, and we're going to get those deep scoops, those inside looks at things as well going on. I also want to be there to really help people to get more out of travel, to understand how they can get a bit more out of travel, and the benefits really of different types of travel. Whether we're going to look at cruise, whether we're going to look at family stays, sustainability, every topic you can imagine to do with travel, we are going to cover at some point, one time or another, throughout this podcast. So thank you for joining me. It's great to kind of have you guys here. And please contribute and kind of ask any questions you like at all. There's nothing really that's going to be off the radar for us to talk about. Drop a message. You can email me. There's lots of ways to get hold of me. Just Google and you kind of find my contact details out there. So yeah, so feel free to get out there. So first of all, I just want to jump straight in and kind of talk about me a little bit, give a little bit of background and history, so you kind of understand where I'm coming from, probably some of the reasons why we're trying to achieve what we're trying to achieve with travel, and the directions that we're going in, and it'll hopefully make a little bit more sense to you. So yeah, so me now, how old am I? I am 46, I think. That's right. Yeah, it is. I'm 46. So I spent 30 years working in customer service industries, and that was within the vending industry. I used to work for my family business. My parents started and ran Cymraeg Vending, which I worked for as soon as I left school. I spent many years working on that business side, about 30 years, working all the way through it, and I did lots of different aspects of the whole time. I started off in engineering and worked through kind of up the ladder from all the horrible greasy jobs in the office before kind of vending machines were ready to go out anywhere and get them all ready and customer facing ready. Um, I kind of worked up there, so I worked out to help training new people, bringing new people on board, and I kind of ultimately ended up as operations manager there, and looking after all of our field based staff, our route fillers, and our engineering staff as well. So at that time, I also got my hands on a bit of sales as well, looking to sell new contracts with customer relations that I built up over time. Um, yeah, and kind of lots of the different aspects of it. So fleet management, and yeah, a whole really wide variety of tasks that I covered throughout that time. So kind of my business history is really quite broad ranging in what we did there. I had many great years at Cymraeg Vending. But as it's a family business, I kind of reached that point where I needed to move on. It's really tough working with family. And I think kind of 30 years of doing it was a really good stint. And I did well to get that far through. So um, I kind of moved on after that. Oh, actually, when I was still in there, I achieved quite a few things I'm really proud of, really. So uh, I was a member of several technical committees. These technical committees would do different tasks depending which one they were. So one was for AVS, so vending services, and we'd look at working with manufacturers, equipment manufacturers, to help improve problems and improve the experiences for the members of the vending group, which represented 20 plus members across the UK. Um, I had a great time doing that. We'd kind of travel around and see different factories, different suppliers, and got to work with many kind of friends in the industry there, and helping to kind of improve things and even try and I'll try and positively kind of influence the changes that we need to see. The other technical committee I was part of was AVA, which was Automatic Vending Association, and that was a much wider ranging trade body that represented the industry, and it would even help kind of advise government on best practice and those types of things. So um, I was part of that technical committee for quite a few years now. I can't remember exactly how long, but also chaired that technical committee as well. So we did many great little things on there, and one of them was creating the very first city and girls training courses for engineers because the industry didn't have anything in place at all to be able to help people develop. So yeah, that was kind of a passion of mine, was helping people to develop, something to look forward to and to work to. Really, that was ultimately the goal. So yeah, so I moved on from there. As I was still actually income vending, I joined the Royal Navy and I became a reservist for several years. I'm still currently a reservist. And I mobilised during COVID, so I went out. As it was during COVID, I kind of got on board the day before everything went into lockdown, when I was assigned to my first ship. So if I'd have been a day or two later, then I'd have been like everybody else and got sent home for the bit. But as it turned out, I was on board ship, and that was quite a weird time, with having to appease the public with views and opinions about 2 meter kind of distancing when you're on board ship, when you spend months on end locked in a tin can, and you can't escape the forced ventilation aboard, kind of on board a ship, really. So that was kind of an odd and weird time, but yeah, it was great fun, a fantastic time, kind of traveling around the UK and other places. So I kind of moved on from there, and I've started up my own travel business. Obviously, here I am, and the reason I got into travel, really, there was quite a few reasons for it. I had been selling for a long time, really, with income rate vending and selling vending contracts and other things. And also my Royal Navy travel as well really gave me a taste for traveling around the place. So I just wanted to combine them. I just wanted to do something that I'd really enjoy, create something for myself that was entirely different, completely changed my career up. Probably call it midlife crisis. I think I've had several of those, as a wife will testify. I just wanted to change things. I just wanted to do something entirely different, come completely away from all of my comfort zones, and start something up that I hadn't done before. So there's a real big challenge, a personal challenge, in kind of changing things like that and doing something that you haven't done before. And you kind of prepare yourself for a big, steep learning curve, but it's been one hell of a learning curve, actually. The travel is an enormous industry. It's absolutely huge. And obviously the whole world is quite a big place. So learning about that and all the different destinations and things. And it's something you're never going to stop learning about. That'll be continuing to learn new things about where I go and what I do, as long as I'm in this game, because everything changes. Things in the world change all the time. Geopolitical events and things you go and see and do, and travel trends, and just everything. Nothing stays the same. And then there'll be new suppliers will come in the marketplace. There'll be existing suppliers who will offer some amazing, fantastic deals. And keeping abreast of all of that is an awful lot of work, but really, really rewarding and gratifying. I love a personal challenge. I absolutely love being kind of testing myself and pushing myself, and being outside of my comfort zones is where I'm certainly happiest. And the growth that you do with that, the personal growth and how you're going to develop, is something that's quite important to me. And yeah, I want to do something for myself. I want to get out, and I kind of realised, I think, that I'm getting a bit older. I always wanted to do something for myself, but time was ticking on, so it all just lined up for me. I saw some adverts at the time for Not Just Travel, and it really, really appealed and struck a kind of chord with it. It was just perfect timing, really, as to when I saw them. And I was in between kind of work, and just everything that resonated on those videos, they just really kind of hit me. So I looked into it, and yeah, I ended up starting my own business. I've been through all those training programs. I'm still going through many more training programs. It never ever stops, as I've said. Yeah, I just like to say that, yeah, Not Just Travel has been a really, really good decision for me. They offer really good level of training. They're very supportive, very helpful at the whole process. So I'm absolutely glad that I signed up with Not Just Travel on that, because I think starting out, I've seen other people who've done different routes and courses, and I find it a big struggle. And it's a big struggle anyway, starting your own business and something new. And there are lots of other routes, and there are some that are more cost-effective routes. But for me, the actual cost is really secondary to getting the actual support and the training that goes along with it. So yeah, so massive thank you to Not Just Travel there for all your help and support, guys. So yeah, so that's kind of bringing me to where I am now. And when I started my travel business, although Not Just Travel is a franchise, I kind of always wanted to have my own brand, my own business. and I wanted it to be mine and give me something to work towards, which is why I kind of started off with Boullies Travel, and why I've transitioned away from the Not Your Travel name to Boullies Travel, because it's just been something that's been in my head for a very long time. And there's nothing wrong with the Not Your Travel brand whatsoever. I mean, it's a fantastic brand, and lots and lots of awards they've won. But it was about being mine. It was about the effort that I put in, and about me, really, is what it was for. So, where are we now? I'm now just past 3 years in travel. It kind of came and went, and I didn't even realize I had my 3rd-year anniversary. I was expecting that it was coming. I thought, right, we're going to have to put some social stuff out and some posts and those types of things. Completely forgot. And just being busy and getting your head down and how it's going to go through. So, so it's actually passed me by without me making much of a song and dance about it at all. So I'm going to absolutely have to do a lot more for next year, and make sure there's a bit more of a song and dance for it. So business has been going really well, actually. So the first year, kind of every year I've more than doubled my turnover. And I think this year I've set myself some really, really hard targets. And I'm currently down on those targets, which is not great. But I've also had a good old year of learning to work from home. So that's been a really big challenge. That's actually surprised me more than I thought it would. So being kind of a home worker, the reason I started travel again, one of the main reasons was so that I could travel, I could work from anywhere. I just have a laptop with me and work anywhere I needed to work. So that was a big pull for me. So when I've kind of stepped away from the Navy and those other tasks, I'm now working full time from home, as I have been since November. And yeah, God, the discipline it takes to get yourself into your routines and get yourself out of bed in the morning and get everything lined up, because you end up working quite late ultimately in this job role, because you have to be available for all for your customers, and that's something that we're very, very keen on. So business is going well. I'm behind my targets right now, so I absolutely need to keep the momentum going and keep pushing forward. So what do we do that's kind of different? What sets us apart, really? And what was the Boullies Travel kind of mission and goals? And again, some of the early reasons why I started off in travel was back in the day when I was in commodity vending, I was very, very busy, non-stop. I would when I got home, I'd be on the phone in the evening making calls and dealing with support requests and things with guys out on site. I'd be the first one in the office, the last one to leave many, many times. And it just never ever stopped. So my kids kind of grew up, and I missed an awful lot of it. And there's several times we tried to get some holidays. So I was just too busy to kind of deep dive into it. So we kind of dropped into our local kind of high street large brand travel agent, if you like. We went through all the details and we found a holiday, and it was great. We finally, kind of got the time aside between rugby practice and football practice, everything else. And we kind of sat in there, and we found a holiday. We worked through all, and I just asked them to be able to call me the next day when I was in work, so I could just make sure I got the time off and I get it authorized before I obviously booked a holiday and then found out that other people were off and I couldn't take it. And the next day kind of came and went, and nobody called. So the travel agents didn't call. I didn't follow through with them because I was too busy. The reason why I hadn't organised anything beforehand was I was just always flat out. And one day turned into 2, into 3, into a week, into a month, and they just never called. So that year, we didn't have a holiday. And the year before that was like one of the first times we actually got away and did something on a family all-inclusive, which is fantastic for young kids. But that year we just didn't have a holiday. And then the following year came and went, and I thought, I just don't want to go through it all again. I don't want to go back to the high street and have to restart all over from scratch with somebody who isn't going to follow through and isn't going to give us that kind of support that I really needed. So again, it was a couple of years and we just didn't have holidays. And then we did some camping trips and stuff, but we didn't go and get those nice all-inclusives out in the sun, where we cut off from everything around you and you just get the quality family time. And that's what I was really, really missing, because I was just so busy. So as I've come into this world of travel, one of the key things that is really, really important to me, one of our founding kind of principles, is that we're going to make this process as easy as possible for everybody. Booking a holiday should be just as enjoyable and as fun as going on holiday is. It's a really exciting part. You've got all these ideas where you want to go, what you want to go and do, and just bringing all that together for people. It's really kind of magical. I'd absolutely love doing it. And I wanted to make sure that for the people who are busy families, young kids running around, all of the practices going on, after school clubs, weekends, you got rugby, football, swimming, ballet, whatever it is you've got going on. There's always something going on when you've got young kids. Birthday parties, and there's just not a lot of time to be able to plan stuff. So so that is one key thing, that we are always available for our customers whenever it suits them. So that's going to be the evenings. It's going to be weekends, although we're probably quiet on weekends. I think weekday evenings we're probably busiest. And we make sure that process is done. So we always follow up on what we do. We always make the phone calls. We always make sure people have got information. We always guarantee to deliver what we say we're going to when we're going to. So selecting a holiday, finding what you want needs to be really easy. Booking it needs to be just as easy. And we want to make sure, with a simple phone call, get the T's and C's out the way with and done, and we just take care of everything for people. We make sure everything follows through right. We make sure paperwork comes through. We kind of pre-travel. We make sure they've got everything they need. We make sure we're always available when they're out traveling. They always have my mobile number, my WhatsApp, emails. They can get hold of us any way that they need to, should they need any help whatsoever. And we'll just drop a little message when in a resort just to make sure they're all good. And there's lots of these touch points that we do all the way through. And I've actually spent this last week trying to gather some testimonials together. And it's really, really nice and touching, really, just to hear back from people about kind of the experiences that they've had. And everything that we've set out to do, we are absolutely doing. And it feels amazing. It feels so good that all those key points, the experience journey of the customer that you want to deliver to people, to make it as easy as possible, as stress-free as possible, as enjoyable as possible, we're absolutely delivering on. So we're in a really good place. We're delivering strongly on those, on our core principles, and helping people to have those amazing experiences. So kind of what's our, as a business, what's our early wins and some of our tough points? Because I want to make sure that, this podcast is really quite honest about everything. It's going to be honest about travel. It's going to be honest about me. It's going to be honest about the business and industry and how we find it. And when things are tough, we're going to say it's tough. When things are going great, we're going to say it's going great. So it's important to be kind of transparent and honest, especially when you're building up kind of your tribe, your loyal people who value what you do, and honesty is an absolute cornerstone of that for me. So our early wins, we've had some fantastic bookings on. We've done some great jobs for people, some large groups, some lovely honeymoons, some fantastic weddings as well. We've had some great things we put together for people. And I'm not going to go into too many details of those because they're all kind of personal, but any kind of stumbles along the way. So I guess so far, stumbles are learning an entirely new industry from scratch, incredibly demanding, a way bigger learning curve than I ever thought it would be. So that's taken several years to really start to get your head around things, and it feels like it's there. It feels like things are flowing, and I know where to go, because previously, when I was in the business for 30 years, there literally wasn't an answer I didn't know, or if I didn't know it, I knew exactly where to go and who could get me the answer. And when you come into a new industry and everything's brand spanking new, you don't know anything. It's really overwhelming, but very challenging, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a challenge, right? So I got myself an absolute challenge. So that big learning curve was way bigger than I ever thought. And I suppose this kind of this year on growth and things, it's slower than I thought. we're putting lots of effort in, but it's also it's trying to reach our core customers. It's trying to make sure people know that we're here, and aiming at those those busy people that need the help. Just trying to get your message out. So that's where we're at. Something that I've been trying to put together and build is some webinars. And we've been trying to do webinars because it's a way of reaching more people at once. It's a way of being able to help more people understand and benefit from the services that we do. That I know when people experience them, they love them. I know when people really value the simplicity and stress-free style of everything that we offer. So we've been launched some webinars, mainly based on Lapland, because it's one of the core products. And we're going to talk about Lapland in a few more series, but I've been trying to make webinars to reach more people. It's a completely different style of what we're doing. It's very different to what other people are doing, but it's a way of being able to, as I said, help lots of people, but get your message out there in a way that's going to take away from the noise. And because there's a lot of noise out there, there's a lot of noise across social media, a lot of noise with lots of different companies doing things, and trying to direct people to what's really valuable for young families, which is what Lapland's about. I mean, it works for adults, it works for lots of other people, but those are the really magical, the very, very magical years is with young families. And getting that right, it's a big deal for people. Lapland is never, ever cheap. And it's about trying to give people incredible value, provide as much additional value free of charge that we possibly can, and make it a very memorable experience. So that's what we've been doing. So we've been about 6 months in the building for this webinar, and we set our date. It was Thursday just gone, so it would have been Thursday the 12th of June, 25. And it was great. Got webinar slides done, got my practices in, everything's been going along really well. We got to our kind of live day. We got people subscribed coming along to watch the webinar and get involved. And we set it all up, and I was there for the first hour, getting everything ready, making sure everything's great. Went to press live, and error. And tried again, error. Closed down the web page, opened it back up, cleared all the cookies, done all these other things, and it was just offline. And it turns out that a couple of minutes before we're due to go live on our very first webinar, after a huge 6-month build-up, I think it was a Google Cloud Services update or something that happened, and just completely wiped out our webinar. So after so much build-up, and that's another stumble for you, I guess. After so much build-up, the kind of the platform that we chose just completely fell apart, and it kind of really wasn't the platform's fault, but ultimately we put a lot of effort in to get to that point, and it all just kind of fell apart for us. So we pick ourselves up. We're going to be going again next Thursday, and we're going to keep doing these weekly and pushing out until we deliver a truly memorable, thorough, valuable experience for people via webinar. I was going to say, yeah, we really want to. My calling throughout all of this, and listen to kind of Russell Brunson and their process of being able to market and do things, which has really, really hit a kind of chord with me, if you like. Consistently talks about a calling, and he's quite a religious chap, and I'm maybe not so much. But it's all the same. I mean, you start to realize that the reason why I started many years ago, and I was so involved with the Sitting Guilds courses in vending, was because I like to serve people. I like to help people. I like to help people advance and have better experiences, and I just like to help other people do more. And in here is exactly the same. And you have a calling, and the calling is to be able to help people to travel better, be able to take away as much risk as you possibly can, help more people travel better. I want to be able to free people up of their time so that they can spend that quality time with their young family, something that I always struggle to do. Give them back that time, let them invest it in their family, let them spend it with their family, and not spend hours and hours of their life trying to search around I don't know how many different websites and search portals trying to find what looks like a good deal when things change every 2 minutes, and just creates a huge amount of stress. So this is my calling, as I've said, and it's something that I feel really strongly about. And Lapland, as I said, is going to be, we're going to talk about a bit more in the future. And forgive me if I'm rambling and going on and on here. This is podcast number 1. This is kind of day dot, if you like. So I'm going to find my voice here. We're going to be able to get a bit more slick and smooth at this, and hopefully start to deliver some really, really good, strong, valuable content for you guys. I can do appreciate you all, and I can't wait to come back and do more podcasts with you and keep serving. So like, follow, subscribe, whatever platform this is on right now that you need to follow. Thank you very much for now. I really appreciate your time and tuning in to listen to this, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.